Good morning to one and all. In this video, we will learn the chapter number 1, Resources and Development of class 10th Geography. Let's begin with the chapter. First, the question arises, what is resources? Resources, everything in our environment which can be used to satisfy our need and is technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable is termed as a resource. Human beings themselves are essential component of resource. They transform material available in the environment into resources and use them. Everything that is available in our environment and used to satisfy our need is termed as a resource. We can also take some examples like fan, books. Fan gives us air and keeps the environment cool in the summers also. So it can satisfy our need and technologically accessible, economically feasible, and culturally acceptable. So it is termed as a resource. Books also. Classification of resources. Resources can be classified in the following ways. This is the most important concept which we had to learn on the basis of. On the basis of origin, there are two types of resources, biotic and abiotic. On the basis of exhaustibility, renewable and non-renewable. On the basis of ownership, individual, community, national and international. On the basis of status of development, potential, developed, stock and reserves. On the basis of origin, there are two types of resources, biotic and abiotic resource. Biotic resources are obtained from the biosphere and have life. All the resources that are living is known as biotic resource. Example, human beings, flora and fauna. Flora for flower species and fauna for animal species. Fisheries, livestock, etc. These are all biotic resources. Abiotic resources, all those things which are composed of non-living things, are called abiotic resources. Example, rock, metals, minerals, etc. On the basis of exhaustibility. On the basis of exhaustibility, there are also two types of resources, renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resource, the resource which can be renewed or reproduced by physical, chemical or mechanical processes, are known as renewable or replenishable resources. The renewable resource may further be divided into continuous or flow. The resources which are renewed or reproduced by physical, chemical or mechanical processes are known as renewable and replenishable resource. Example, solar and wind energy. It is unlimited in nature, that has no limit. Water, forest and wildlife, etc. But like water, we saying that we are overusing water. So when we overuse resources, it can comes into existence. It cannot exist in nature if we overuse any resource. So please keep resource in use, not in overuse. Now, renewable resource. Renewable resources occur a very long geological time. These resources take millions of years in their formation. Some of resources like metals are recyclable and some like fossil fuels cannot be recycled and get exhausted. Exhausted means finished with their use. Example, minerals and fossil fuels. Minerals and fossil fuels are the resources which can exhausted by their use or overuse. On the basis of ownership, individual, community, national and international. Individual resource are owned privately by individual. Like in villages, people own land, whereas in urban areas, in cities, people own plots, houses or other properties, buildings, etc. Example, plantation, pasture lands, ponds, water in wells, etc. Community owned resources. Community owned resources are accessible to all the members of the community or groups of people. Example, grazing grounds, burial grounds, public parks, picnic spots, playgrounds, etc. These are all community owned resources that are owned by groups of peoples or all the members of the community. National resource. National resources are owned by nation or country. All the minerals, water resources, forest, wildlife, land within the political boundaries and oceanic area up to 12 nautical miles, that is 22.2 km from the coast, termed as territorial water and resources therein belong to the nation. The resources within the political boundaries and oceanic area up to 12 nautical miles, that is 22.2 km from the coast, is termed as territorial water resource and belong to the nation. These are nation resource, national resource. Example, roads, canals, railways, etc. International resources. International resources are regulated by international institutions. The oceanic area beyond 200 nautical miles of the exclusive economic zone belong to open ocean and no individual country can utilize these without the concurrence of international institutions. These are known as international resources. That are the resources beyond 200 nautical miles of the exclusive economic zone. On the basis of status of development, potential, developed, stock and reserves. Potential resources are the resources which are found in region but have not been utilized. Example, Rajasthan and Gujarat have enormous potential for the development of wind and solar energy, but so far for these have not been developed properly. Developed resources which are surveyed and their quality and quantity have been determined for utilization. The development of resources depend on technology and the level of their feasibility. Minerals, material in the environment which have the potential to satisfy human needs, but human beings do not have the appropriate technology to assess these, are called stocks. Example, hydrogen. Hydrogen can be used as a rich source of energy. Example, water. Water has two inflammable gases, hydrogen and oxygen, and it can be used as a rich source of energy, but we do not have advanced technology to use it, so it is termed as stock. Reserves are the subset of the stock which can be put into use with the help of existing technology, know-how, but their use not been studied. These can be used for meeting future requirements. These are reserves. Example, water in dams, forests, etc. is a reserves which can be used in the future. Development of resources. Resources have been used by human beings indiscriminately, and this has led to the following major problems: depletion of resources for satisfying the greed of a few individuals, accumulation of resources in few hands, which in turn divided the society into two segments, haves and have not, or rich and poor. It has led to global ecological crises such as global warming, ozone layer depletion, environmental pollution and land degradation. We can learn these 3 points by DIA. D for depletion of resources, I for indiscriminate use of resources, and A for accumulation of resources. Resource planning is essential for the sustainable existence of all forms of life. Sustainable economic development means development should take place without damaging the environment, and development in the present should not compromise with the needs of the future generation. Resource planning. In India, there are some regions which can be considered self-sufficient in the terms of the availability of resources, and there are some regions which have acute shortage of some vital resources. This calls for balanced resource planning at the national, state, regional and local level. Resource planning in India. Resource planning is a complex process which involves identification and inventory of resources across the region of the country. This involves surveying, mapping, qualitative and quantitative estimation and measurement of the resources, evolving a planning structure endowed with appropriate technology, skill and institutional setup for implementing resource development plans. Matching the resource development plan with overall national development plans. Resource can con- Resource can contribute to development only when they are accompanied by appropriate technology development and institutional changes. India has made concentrated efforts toward achieving the goals of resource planning right from the first 5-year plan launched after independence. To overcome irrational consumption and overutilization of resources, resource conservation on various levels is important. Land resources. Land is a natural resource of utmost importance. It supports natural vegetation, wildlife, human life, economic activities, transport, and communication systems, etc. India has land under a variety of relief features, namely mountains, plateaus, plains, and islands, as shown below. Plateaus are of 27%, mountains out of 30%, and plains are of 43%. Land utilization. Land utilization are used for following purpose: forests, land not available for cultivation like barren and wasteland, land up to non-agriculture uses, fallow lands, other uncultivated land excluding fallow land. Net zone area. Land use pattern in India. The use of land is determined by physical factor and human factor. Physical factors such as topography, climate, soil type. Human factors such as population density, technology, capability, and culture and tradition, etc. The data below represent the land use pattern in India. Wasteland. Wasteland is the land up to other non-agriculture uses, which include rocky, arid, and desert areas, road, railways, industry, etc. Continuous use of land over a long period of time without taking appropriate measures to conserve and manage it has resulted in land degradation. Land degradation and conserve measures. Human activities such as deforestation, overgrazing, mining and quarrying have contributing significantly to land degradation. Mining site leaves deep scars and traces of overburning the land. In recent years, industrial influence as waste have become a major source of land and water pollution in many parts of the country. Some of the ways through which we can solve the problems of land degradation are afforestation and proper management of grazing, planting of shelter belts of plants, stabilization of sand dunes by growing thorny bushes, proper management of wasteland, control of mining activities, proper discharge and disposal of industrial effluents and waste after treatment. Soil as a resource. Soil is the most important renewable natural resource. It is a medium of plant growth and supports different types of living organisms on the earth. It takes millions of years to form soil up to a few centimeters in depth. Various forces of nature such as change in temperature, action of running water, wind and glacier, activities of decomposers, etc. contribute to the formation of soil. Parent rock or bedrock, climate, vegetation and other forms of life and time are important factors in the formation of soil. Chemical and organic changes which take place in the soil play an important role. So, soil also consists of organic, humus or inorganic material. Classification of soil. On the basis of factor responsible for soil formation is color, thickness, texture, age, chemical and physical properties. The soil of India are classified in different ways in different types as mentioned below. Alluvial soil. The entire northern plain are made of alluvial soil. The alluvial soil is deposited by three important Himalayan river systems: the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. It is also found in Rajasthan, Gujarat, and eastern coastal plains, particularly in deltas of the Mahanadi, the Godavari, the Krishna, and the Kaveri rivers. The alluvial soil consists of various proportion of sand, silt, and clay. As we move inland towards the river valleys, soil particles appear to be bigger in size, whereas in the upper side of the river valley, the soil are coarse. Based on age, alluvial can be classified as old alluvial soil called Bhangar and new alluvial soil called Khadar. The Bhangar soil has a higher concentration of Kankar nodules than the Khadar. It khadar, it has more fine particles and is more fertile than bhangar. Alluvial soil are very fertile. These soil contain an adequate proportion of potash, phosphoric acid and lime, which are ideal for the growth of sugarcane, paddy, wheat and other cereal and pulse crop. Black soil. This soil is black in color and is also known as rugged soil. Climatic condition along with the parent rock material are the important factors for the formation of black soil. The soil is ideal for growing cotton and is also known as black cotton soil. This type of soil is typical of the Deccan Trap basalt region spread over northwest Deccan Plateau and is made up of lava flows. The soil covers the plateaus of Maharashtra, Saurashtra, Malwa, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh and extends in the southeast direction along the Godavari and the Krishna valleys. The black soil are made up of extremely fine clay clay material, and well known for their capacity to hold moisture. Black soil is nutrient rich and contain calcium carbonate, potassium, magnesium, and lime. The soil is sticky when wet and difficult to work on unless tilled immediately after the first shower or during the pre-monsoon period. Red and yellow soil. This type of soil develops on crystalline igneous rocks in areas of low rainfall in the eastern and southern parts of the Deccan Plateau. These soil develop a reddish color due to diffusion of iron in the crystalline and metamorphic rocks. It looks yellow when it occurs in hydrated form. Found in part of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, southern parts of the Middle Ganga plain and along the Piedmont zone of the Western Ghats. This is the picture of the red and yellow soil. Laterite soil. The laterite soil develop under tropical and subtropical climate with the alternate wet and dry season. This soil is the result of intense leaching due to heavy rain. Lateritic soil are acidic pH. The pH value of laterite soil is 6.0 in nature and generally deficient in plant nutrients. This type of soil is found mostly in southern states, Western Ghats, regions of Maharashtra, Odisha, some parts of West Bengal and northeast regions. The soil supports deciduous and evergreen forests but humus poor. This soil is very useful for growing tea and coffee. This is the picture of laterite soil. Arid soil. Arid soil range from red to brown in color. This soil is generally sandy in texture and saline in nature. In some areas, the soil content is very high and common salt is obtained by evaporating the water. Arid soil lack humus and moisture. The lower horizons of the soil are occupied by kankar because of the increasing calcium content downwards. The kankar layer formation in the bottom horizons restrict the infiltration of water. Forest soil. These soil are found in the hilly and mountain areas. The soil texture is loomy and silty in valley sides and coarse grained in the upper slopes. In the snow-covered areas of Himalayas, these soil experience denudation and are acidic with low humus content. The soil is fertile on the river terraces and alluvial fans. The map below shows the different types of soil in India. The last topic of this chapter, soil erosion and conservation. The denudation of the soil cover and the subsequent washing down is described as soil erosion. The soil erosion is caused due to human activities like deforestation, overgrazing, construction and mining, etc. Also, there are some natural forces like wind, glacier and water which led to soil erosion. Soil erosion is also caused due to defective methods of farming. The running water cuts through the clay soils and make deep channels as gullies. The land becomes unfit for cultivation and is known as bad land. When water flows as a sheet over large areas down a slope and the top soil is washed away, it is known as sheet erosion. Wind blows loose soil off flat or sloping land known as wind erosion. Different ways of soil conservation. Plowing along the contour lines decelerate the flow of water down of the slope. This is called contour plowing. Terrace cultivation restricts erosion. This type of agriculture practice is done in western and central Himalayas. When a large field is divided into strips and strips of grass are left to grow between the crops, then this breaks up the force of the wind. This method is known as strip cropping. Planting lines of trees to create shelter help in the stabilization of sand dunes and in stabilizing the desert in western India. Rows of such trees are called shelter belts. This is all about the chapter of resources and development of class 10th, that is resources and development geography. I hope you will understand better through these notes. Prepare your notes. Stay well, stay tuned at home. Thank you so much.